518027. Three-way calls or call waiting is not allowed and may automatically disconnect this call. Did you know the person calling you now has voicemail? You can leave a message for this party by calling 520-448-3426. You will need to know the inmate's 9-digit phone ID. Thank you for using GTL.
What's good with YouTube? Y'all know Big Flacco with a convict's perspective, man, and I got a breaking news update, so you already know what time it is. I'm coming directly from the county jail, and I'm going to dash, stride on through with a whole lot of energy, so please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support your boy, and hit that bell notification for future fire content. Now, I got some interesting information. We're going to kind of break it down, but there was just a 70-count federal grand jury indictment that was unsealed recently. 68 defendants under a RICO case for what they're calling members and associates of the San Fernando Valley Peckerwoods. Basically, they're claiming to be a white supremacist street gang. Now, they got tons of crimes. I believe they basically have 76 different type of counts in crimes. Conspiracy to distribute controlled substances, fentanyl, bank fraud, aggravated identity theft, firearm and ammunition. And this is interesting. I'm still trying to figure out what they mean by this. Possession of 15 or more unauthorized access devices. I'm still trying to figure out what they mean by that. Now, 29 defendants are were currently arrested, and they're being housed in downtown LA. 13 remain in custody. Okay, they got the Paycheck Protection Program. They got the COVID-19 pandemic funds. All kinds of different things. And you know, when you tell me that there's 68 defendants, okay, this is something that we're starting to see increase. We're starting to see more indictments within the white groups, the white factions. You know, traditionally, you're going to always see indictments, you know, like the NF's been indicted several times. Like, every year there's about 2-3 indictments for the NF in different cities and counties. Every year there's about 2 or 3 indictments in different counties for the Mexican Mafia. These things all happen, and they've been increasing basically since the 90s, and more so in the 2000s and 2010s. And basically, the feds have learned how to get indictments to stick on several individuals under what you call the RICO Act, Racketeering and Corporation Corruption of Organizations. Basically, the same federal statutes that were planned to use to break down the Italian mob back in the day. Now, they've been able to use that basically on prison gangs and now even street gangs. Now, this 250-page indictment is interesting because if you really think about it, ever since the AB got indicted in, 2018, you're starting to see a more increase in different white groups. You see the Fame faction over in Coca County get indicted. You see the Fresnex get indicted. And you also see several that got indicted along with one more MA member in Los Angeles County a couple years ago as well as those with ties to prison. Now, what I'm starting to see more and more is these indictments are bringing them down as RICO acts, as operations. But just because they're operations and RICO acts does not mean that everybody's connected. Like a lot of the indictments that we've seen in Fresno over the last 3 years, there's been several different gangs that are being indicted, but they're all being included in one RICO. And basically what this is used for is basically to sell. It's for the public. It's just basically to get notice in the public, to get recognized, for them to basically do what you call a grandstand walk. Okay, this is what we're doing. And when you have 29 plus 13 that were already in custody, 42 defendants so far that are in custody, yet you have 26 people who are still out. Either those 26 are out or chilling, right? Or they're just a small part of an alleged organized crime that just started to snatch up everybody. A lot of these indictments, like I said before, the feds are basically using people who do the most minimal effort in indicting them. Like, for instance, if you give someone a ride from this stop over here to this stop over here, bam, you're connected, you're involved. Whether you knew what the crime was, whether you knew who it was for, they're basically trying to connect everybody who was part of this group, and they're trying to tie it in as a criminal organization. And a lot of them are not criminal organizations. A lot of these people are just freelancing, doing what they're doing. They're not tied into anybody, but the feds are always going to tie them into somebody. And you're seeing more and more of that happening to different groups. You're starting to see the Crips are getting indicted. You're starting to see Bloods get indicted. You're starting to see sets of these gangs be indicted. The same tactics that they're doing now in California with, like, for instance, the Peckerwoods. I've never ever heard of a street gang called the San Fernando Valley Peckerwoods. I honestly think that this is basically maybe a made-up name that basically the feds gave them because they're woods, they're white, and they're out there doing their thing, so we're going to tie you guys down. We're going to tie you guys all together because you guys must be connected. You know, that's the way that they've always operated. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If there is a street gang, I've never heard of it. But I think just because they're woods, Peckerwoods, which is a term for the whites, they're trying to connect all of them, anybody that's involved in any different type of activity. Because you have different types of crimes I'm seeing. You're having conspiracy to distribute fentanyl. You're having bank fraud. You're having possessions of ammunition. All these different crimes. And the amount of people that are involved. 68 people that are involved. 68 people involved. In all my life, right, of living this life and doing what I've done, I've never seen where you have 68 people who are involved in one criminal organization that are all working together under one crime. It just doesn't happen, you know? So a lot of times these federal agents are starting to embellish these stories and trying to tie everybody in under one indictment. And they've been doing this like the last, literally 14 years. Let's just tie these people in. Let's get them for bank fraud. Okay, they have wood tattoos. They have lightning bolts. They have swastikas. Oh, they must run under the woods. Oh, they have the San Fernando Valley tattoo on. They're from San Fernando Valley. They're Peckerwoods. Let's all get them down as a gang and let's push this RICO Act. As you're going to find, as going through all these 250 pages that they have for the indictment, I guarantee you're going to start to see that this person's associated only with this person. You know, I don't understand how you can have a RICO Act unless you are supporting one organization and benefiting it financially. You got to have someone that's going to have to be at the top benefits of all this. I bet you that for the majority of these alleged crimes, I guarantee you that none of these alleged crimes are further in the advancement of any prison gang or street gang on the streets. I guarantee it. These are just allegations. But the way they tie it in is they put these RICO Acts, they put these charges to pretty much, like I said, grandstand. They want to look popular, especially right now with all these elections going on and everything that's going on politically. They're going to, of course, they're going to be hard on crime. But just the information that I got on this indictment, it's nothing even close to the indictments that went down with the AEB with that trial. It's something that's on a smaller scale, right? But they're trying to make it bigger than what it is. And I guarantee you're going to start to see more crimes just against groups like this. You know, you're going to start to see more subsets, more smaller gangs. You're going to start to see, I guarantee you, Asian gangs. The same stuff that you've been seeing like in counties like Fresno, where they've had operations, right? And all those people that have got indicted under these RICO Acts, most of these people are not even tied in together. So the feds are kind of loosely putting charges on people, and they're going to charge some of these people state, some of these people federally, but there's no distinct leadership that I see in any of these indictments. There's no distinct bank that funds these organizations. There's nothing that I can see that's going to be symbolic that would be, grounds to indict someone under a RICO Act. You know, like I said, there's different predicates when it comes to RICO. You have basically organizations, but you also have enterprises. They may be able to find this under an enterprise, but I really think that the feds are starting to abuse these things. And I think that the way that they have established the law, it's really hard for a federal attorney to basically defend these type of charges, because as these charges are being developed, they keep on changing the laws. It's crazy, you know, and now they're including, paycheck protection program fraud, COVID-19 pandemic fraud. And if you really look back at all these cases, before 2018, how many cases have you seen in the state of California that were against white groups or white factions? Very few. Very few. They were all started to do it first towards Norteños and Sureños. Right? Then you started to see stuff going against certain Crip sets or blood sets in San Diego or, LA. And now you're starting to see indictments towards whites. So a lot of this stuff is based, the feds are playing games. They're learning as they go, and they're applying it every day. With that said, this is your boy Flaco from the convict's perspective. I'm out.